All right, and we are live on a Sunday night. Sorry, we're a little behind. That wasn't because we were being late. That's because I didn't realize the episode was longer than an hour. But I'm Justin. That guy there, that's Seth.
What's up?
And that's Sexy
Metadubs.
Woo! And we're the Podcasting Dead. And
Fresh
I'm
fade.
so excited because for the first time in the history of this channel, we are actually here to discuss something other than The Walking Dead. We're here to talk about The Last of Us, Season 1, Episode 1. It's a series premiere, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it before we even jump into it. Well, before I even say that, don't forget to subscribe. If you like this kind of stuff, subscribe, comment, like, all of that stuff helps the YouTube algorithm gods to spread our content. Also, don't forget to find us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead. Also, super chats are awesome, all that good stuff. But anyways, 10 out of 10. Absolutely loved it. It's interesting too because Seth and I have played the video game. Matt has never played.
I have not yet, so this is like all brand new to me. And
So
I love
Seth,
it.
don't even take this personal, but Matt, I am more interested in your opinion, mainly because you've never played the game and you don't have any of the source material. Like I'm geeking out over how perfectly they matched up lines, even bodies, even like certain stances were straight from the game. So Matt, what did you think of it from an outside perspective?
Me and Ashley loved it. And she ended up having to go to bed halfway through because she's just pooped as well. But yeah, she was really mad. Like she was so conflicted. She like wanted to keep watching it, but had to go to bed.
Oh, and before we get super into this, spoilers. Yes, we're going to spoil it. There are a billion spoiler-free reviews out there, so this is not one of them. We're going to spoil it. You've been warned. All right, Seth.
But we were hooked. We liked
makes
it.
me very happy to hear. Seth, what are your thoughts?
I took notes. There was some things I didn't like. There was a lot of things I didn't like.
Of course.
Look, man, hey, I'm critical. I like the show. I mean, I like the game. I'm going to be critical.
I think that it is probably one of the most detail-oriented video game and that's because you got the writer of the game heavily involved with the writing of the show. But I mean, there's so many little things, like from the point of view shot in the back of the truck, like right out of the game, from her waking up to Joel not being there. I like that they added in the neighbor stuff because obviously in the video game, you walk around and explore their house, which would not be interesting on a show. So we get the neighbor thing, which was pretty rad. I loved the lines, like the drugs. I sell hardcore drugs, exactly what she said in the game. Even down to her death scene. And what I'm talking about, body language, if you go back and watch the scene in the game where his daughter dies and you watch the show scene, it is almost like shot for shot, even to the way that Tommy is standing. In the game, I think he had a revolver and not a rifle, but even still, like even him just standing there, and it's so great. I loved. And of course they did some different stuff, which didn't bother me at all. And I think that I like what's her name, Bella Ramsey, that's playing Ellie. She was on Game of Thrones and I loved her. She doesn't really look like Ellie, so I was like, we'll have to wait and see. But like, I think she's got the attitude.
Her attitude, yeah.
Like, and I think that's what happens is sometimes when they cast these characters, it's not so much on like, okay, let's find someone that looks just like them. It's like, let's find someone who has that character down.
That mannerism.
They may not resemble them, but they certainly know the character. And I mean, I thought it was great. So let's start off with the positives. Seth, what are some things that you did like about the episode?
All right, let me see.
Got some notes. Hell yeah.
I gotta pull my notes up. Hang on. Where you at? Oh, which tab? Okay. I think that my number one A1 idea of like what I liked was the driving scenes.
Yep. Just like the game.
Dude, let me hang on. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. This is my content and I give you permission to share it. Right. This was a year and a half or so ago. I'm not gonna play any sound, but I mean, like this is strictly from the game. So we do coffee and gaming on Saturday mornings, yada yada yada. This is cut out of it, and this is what you see in the show.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like shot for shot. The only thing, I mean, he's in a SUV where he was in a truck in the show. But that's about the only thing. Right here. I mean, this is shot like even the street signs are appropriate.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So like that has to be one of my favorite things about so far. I enjoyed the radio aspect, but it did contradict something.
Well, let's save the negative. We're doing positive right now.
It's not a negative.
We are too tired for negative.
Yeah,
but it's not a negative.
I had a very rough landing from Atlanta to RDU. The guy
Why does a contradiction have to be a negative?
Let's hear it.
Just because.
Well, in the game, it had been several years since Tommy had spoke to him. In the show, with the radio aspect, they were able to communicate. I think he said 3 weeks. I mean, it's a contradiction. It's not a negative, but it's a contradiction.
Contradiction or deviation?
Deviation, probably. Probably a bit better.
It's just
better
a
term
deviation from. And they said they were going to switch it up a little bit, on the show, because if everything is exactly the same, it's not going to be exciting.
But I did like that they had a radio. I did like that there was other communities corresponding with each other, and I really liked that they had certain types of music meant certain things.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Just like my playlist.
It's like I can tell Matt's sad tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sad tonight. I actually feel pretty good. I got a lot done this weekend.
So what did you like about the episode, Matt?
I don't know, it's all new to me. It was fun.
It was fresh.
It was fresh. It was different.
Well, the thing you're going to learn about, because this show is
love
probably
Pedro Pascal.
He's
a cool dude.
I do too. I think that a lot of people are going to compare this show to The Walking Dead. Obviously, it's a big zombie show.
I was saying I was trying to draw some parallels on that.
But what you're going to get, I'm going to tell you now, what you're going to get out of
Rick.
No cares.
You done?
Yeah, I couldn't resist.
What you're going to get out of The Last of Us is a much more character-driven show. That is... It's much more based on the characters. It's not, I mean, the game has a lot of action, but it's gritty action. It's not like Walking Dead, flashy, cool. Like it's a very gritty, just like realistic. So you're going to get I'm sure there are going to be some episodes where there's not much action at all. In fact, you didn't even see that many zombies once the flash happened. You saw the one that was on the wall looked pretty rad.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing in the game. Like if they die, basically like the fungus, the cordyceps control you. But if you die, then they just root in and start spreading, trying to spread the spores to further the infection. I thought the little 1960s thing at the beginning was cool. Like where they were having the scientists talk about fungus. Good little prequel. Of course, Seth didn't like it. So Seth, go ahead. Tell us why you didn't like it.
It's not that, I mean, I don't know. It just seemed kind of irrelevant. Big push for climate change.
Climate change?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess he
talked about the whole global warming stuff like that, and it was kind of like, oh, okay.
Well, but the Earth is warming up, and it's helping the fungus to further spread.
I guess. I mean,
whether you believe it's man-made or not, it's completely irrelevant. The Earth has been through multiple warming cycles. That's happened since the dawn of the planet.
Global warming and cooling.
Regardless of whether you think it's man-made or not, it warming up certainly is a thing, and it's helping, I guess, the fungus to make the jump. Because in the game, they never really delved much into why it could do this to rodents. I mean, not rodents, sorry, ants and bugs, and never could make the jump to humans. So it's I like that there's a little backdrop there on how maybe it's made that jump, because I don't know if it's true or not, but it was cool that he mentioned that the fungus couldn't survive in anything hotter than 94 degrees. And that's why it couldn't, make the jump over to mammals. So I thought that was a cool little touch. But all right, Seth, go ahead. I'm giving you the platform. Tell us, rip it apart. Tell us everything you didn't like about it. I'm sure that side of your notepad is way longer. So just rip into it.
I told you already. There was more that I liked that I didn't like.
On one side, he wrote Pedro Pascal equals hot.
No, dude, I hate Pedro Pascal. He's the hardest part of believing. He's the hardest part of believing this show. But putting that aside, it's just, I mean, I didn't like how Tommy got arrested. I thought Tommy was supposed to be a stand-up guy, but he got arrested, so whatever. I mean, it's kind of like I put meh beside it.
Well, he got arrested though. He was probably swung at like somebody that was infected because he said some woman, this dude, and that was the same night stuff went crazy. So it's like he didn't get arrested because he's a hoodlum. He got arrested for a pretty honorable reason.
Well, they didn't really say that. You thought he was
a pretty clean background. I mean, what's more clean and honorable than knocking some dude out for swinging at a waitress? I mean, that's pretty honorable. It's not like, oh man, I got caught with weed again, or oh man, I punched this guy who kept running his mouth. It's like I punched this guy.
I guess, but they didn't dive in on that. They just said it was a bar fight.
No, I think that was just their plot device to get Joel out of the house to get us that scene when she wakes up alone in the house from the game.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
Are we talking about bad?
Yeah, just go ahead.
The good,
that's
the
it.
bad,
I know
and
it's what
the ugly.
that is.
I told you there was like 3 bad things. I told you.
I tell you the only bad thing I'll say, and unlike Seth, I do like Pedro Pascal, but I will say there are moments where he has Joel's accent, and then there's moments where it's like the accent. Did anybody notice? It's like 1 minute he's got a super Southern accent, and then the next minute he just sounds like Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
I mean, it did, that's probably the only real negative I can get. I mean, and that's not even, I'm still giving it a 10 out of 10. So if you're just joining us, I absolutely loved the episode. I mean, everything about it front to back, probably will go back and rewatch it. But I did notice that like Pedro Pascal's Southern accent, when it was on, it was really good. And also Joel is voiced by Troy Baker, who is one of the biggest names in voice acting. Like he's right up there with like Nolan North and some of these, the biggest. He's like with Laura Bailey and just these greats. And as somebody who, I've done radio my whole life and wanted to get into voice acting or voice, do voice work. Of course, I follow these people, and Troy Baker's just got a fun, and he talks nothing like Joel. That's the incredible thing. If you play the game or you watch clips from the game and listen to how Joel talks and you listen to Troy Baker, Troy Baker sounds nothing like Joel. That's just how good of a voice actor he is. But so it's hard to emulate that voice. I just noticed that sometimes he sounded like Pedro Pascal. Sometimes he sounded super Southern. But other than that, I like it. Who are you talking to, Matt?
I'm just engaging the riffraff in the comments section.
But anyways, let us know what you thought. I saw a few people. We got Dragos popping in to say, hey, but not going to be able to stay because he hadn't watched the episode yet. Definitely don't want it spoiled for you there.
How do you feel about the difference between it was supposed to be guns, but it was now a car battery?
Didn't really bother me. The car parts thing is interesting, though, because when they meet the guy that Nick Offerman's going to be playing, it's like that's what they were looking for then was like car parts in his town. So it's going to be interesting if it's the same thing.
Yeah, they're just going to keep looking for car batteries.
Yeah, because that's something, honestly, until you pointed it out, I didn't even really pay attention to. But yeah, and also they didn't have the confrontation with him in the alley.
Yeah.
He was already dead when they found him. But I mean, I feel like because those video games are so freaking long. I feel like for the sake of being able to put together seasons and stories, that's one of those things where they were like, it's cool, but in the game, it was just to kind of show you what kind of people Joel and Tess were before you jump into it. And so I feel like they probably cut that for a time.
Yeah, I was kind of figuring that they would end on tracking down Robert, and I was a little off, but I mean, that's where I was thinking about a stopping point for episode 1.
Looking for Robert.
Yeah, or finding Robert. Maybe they tracked him down. I missed that there was no tunnel system with their gear and stuff on standby. That could have been a cool opportunity to see.
I felt kind of bad for his drug guy.
The cop.
Joel beat the snot out.
I know. My gosh.
Which he should have. I mean, the guy was standing in his way. But
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how they're going to play. Because in the game, forget the second one, take that one out. But even in the first one, like there are so many, and there have been for a very long time, long before the second game came out, like character studies on Joel of like, Joel's not really a good person. Like he's not a bad guy per se, but like Joel's not really a good guy either. And there's so much content on YouTube of people analyzing, like, is he, so I'm interested to see how they're going to spin him in the show. Cause in the game, he's like an anti-hero. I mean, you're rooting for him and you love him, but like he does some pretty awful stuff. Well, it's a live stream, so we're not monetized. I can see
in the beginning of the games, do you remember Joel being very well known? Did many people know him?
I'd have to go back and play it. I mean, I felt like some people knew him. I didn't think he was like a town celebrity, but I thought some people knew him.
I felt like the interaction between Tess and Robert, and when she had just gotten beaten up in the show, it made it seem like Joel was pretty well known.
Talking about, by the way, she said that Robert's terrified of you.
Yeah, and I don't remember that being in the game, but I can't honestly say that it wasn't.
I don't know if they mentioned that in the game, but I do know in the game when he saw Tess and Joel, he was terrified. I mean, he was trying to get away. So, I mean, I don't know if that was just kind of like rolling all of that in, like instead of getting the scene where we see he's clearly terrified of them. As soon as he sees them, he's like, "Oh crap!"
I remember when Tess was going for information, and the one dude that she met up with was like, kind of real confrontational, got up in Joel's face, and she had to vouch for him. So that's one thing that led me to believe that maybe he really wasn't that well known.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Jay Shar says, as someone who never played the game, I thought it was great. So you and Matt are on the same.
Yeah,
look.
Same.
We are not going to get into Walking Dead talk. It's not happening. I will show this comment here, but we have a whole podcast for that. We are not going to talk Walking Dead, but
I do got one fun what if. It's a real simple one. Answer as quick or as long as you like, but like, what if you switched Joel and Rick, like put them in their respective opposite universes?
Joel would be more hear me out. Not so much the wanting to bang your wife and everything, but Joel would be more along the lines, which Joel's also had 20 years into the apocalypse.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had a long time to become who he is, whereas Rick and them start off like right at the beginning. But
right out the gate.
I mean, Joel would more align with someone like Shane than he would Rick, because I mean, you see in the very beginning, they're going down the road and those people needed help, and Tommy won't, they kind of want to stop, and Joel's like, keep going. Like, just keep going.
Yeah.
So,
I'm good, dog.
With the truck, though, would you be more willing to want to stop and help?
I don't know, because when you're a parent, keeping your kid alive is the only thing that matters to you in that kind of a situation. So, like, I want to say yes. I like to think I'm a decent person and I would stop and let them hop in the back. But also, if people are eating people and the world's falling apart around me and my only goal is to get my daughter to safety, I don't know that I would stop in that situation.
Right.
Like, I think when it's for your kid, I don't think we really know how we're going to react in that situation.
Well, I think the scenario changes, though, because in the game, he was in an SUV, where in the show, he's in a truck. I kind of feel like if I had a truck in the apocalypse, I would be more willing to be like, hey, jump in the back, let's go.
Maybe, but also, like I said, when you got your kid in the back, man, and these zombies are not like Walking Dead zombies. I mean, these things are fast and reckless. So, I mean, it's like just stopping for a second to let them climb in, not knowing if they're bit, not knowing, especially this is the beginning. So you don't know anything about it. All you know is people are eating people and going crazy. Ooh. Are they bit? Are they infected? Are they good people, bad people? So I don't know. That'd be a tough call, man.
The when he's carrying Sarah through the diner and the running from the one dude.
Oh yeah,
that was intense.
That was intense. I like the way it just crashed, like, because that's the way they are in the game. They're just very reckless. Like, they're not.
Right. Yeah, what's up with that?
Well, they do not
no coordination.
Nothing will separate them from food.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing.
At the end of the day, their whole point, they're eating. It's like the fungus controls them, and they eat to keep their body alive because the fungus feeds on their body. And it's like, you know, and it's also to spread the infection because, like he said in the beginning, the fungus it's like a virus. It just wants to spread itself, which is how fungus acts in the animal kingdom. When the cordyceps infect the ants at the end of their life cycle, they go up to the top of a branch, they die. A mushroom comes out the ant and spreads spores, which will attach to and infect more ants. So it's behaving like it does in nature. But like Seth said,
fungus is weird.
They are reckless. They don't feel pain. Now, the cool thing is, though, in the game, I don't know how they'll play it in the show, but in the game, what I liked about the game versus The Walking Dead and other games is that you can kill them like you can kill a regular person. I mean, you shoot them, you shoot them a couple times in the body. It can kill them. I mean, they still have to have bodily function to function. It's just the fact that they're so fast and so reckless. Like, whereas The Walking Dead, they're moving at the speed of a snail when you get past season 1.
PCP times like a 20.
Yeah. So it would be like, no kidding. It would be like a world infected with people high on PCP who want to eat you. Like they just have no regard for their own well-being. Like Granny got infected and that wheelchair didn't mean a thing to her after that.
Did you see her face?
Yeah. Like that's something new. I don't remember that from the game. Like the spores.
I'm talking about when Sarah was looking at a DVD. Was it a DVD or a book? A DVD. Okay, when she was looking at it, if you look in the background, Grandma's face is all like contorted,
distortions,
and making some weird look. I was like, I gotta look away on that.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. I didn't notice that.
Was creepy.
That was weird,
dude. Grandma was freaky. Like,
Grandma, yeah.
I mean, like I said, I thought it was great. And I think when you played the game, man, when you knew that when her and Joel were walking through the field, when they separated with Tommy, I was like, oh God, here it comes. Here it comes.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
It was heartbreaking. I thought they did very good. I mean, the lines were slightly different, but I thought they did a really good job. Like that was heartbreaking. And that little girl that played his daughter did so good. Like her personality really, for me, lined up with his daughter in the game. Like just goofy, and I thought she was very likable. Like I feel like for someone like Matt, you're watching the show, you don't know anything about the game. You're probably thinking this daughter is going to be a big part of it.
Yeah. I like this gal. Oh no, is she okay?
Gone, like in the first part of it.
Why are they Game of Thronesing me with characters again?
Lance, at this point, I don't know if how closely they'll follow the game, but in this game, you can slit their throats. I mean, you can kill them the same way that you'd kill a normal person. Now, unlike The Walking Dead, though, these zombies have different stages of infection. So as they get infected, as the infection progresses, now certain things will happen that makes it harder to kill them with like bullets. Like I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll leave it at that. But there are mutations. It's not just like every zombie is going to be like this. You've got some really cool variations of the advance of the infection with this fungus. So no, you can kill them like you would a regular person. The runners, or what they call what you saw, they're recently infected. Let's see. Somebody said they nailed that scene. Do y'all think that you can survive that zombie apocalypse compared to The Walking Dead?
I'm just dying out the gate either way.
Yeah.
Dude, Matt, I would not let you kill yourself in The Walking Dead apocalypse because, dear God, compared to this apocalypse, The Walking Dead is a cakewalk.
What a cakewalk, yeah.
I mean, Lord have mercy. This one...
And if I could exist in the same universe as Pope, I would be so happy.
I don't know that I would survive. I know that I would damn sure try.
So it's a freeze frame of Joel and Sarah getting like interrogated by the officer.
Man, is that from the which version is that from? Because you got the PS3, then you got the remaster, and now you've got the part 1.
Remastered part 1.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I'm gonna get the because they had the original, then they had the remaster for the PS4, and then now they've got the part 1, which is a complete overhaul on everything and looks phenomenal. It's still sitting at like $70 on PlayStation Store, so I hadn't bought it yet. Lance Hornsby says, Is this show following the game exactly? On a lot of beats, yes, but I'm sure they're going to have some deviations. So thus far, we're following the game pretty closely, minus small little details. It's kind of like The Walking Dead in certain scenarios. Like they're following the main beat of the game.
Yeah.
And Matt, what do you think about Ellie's little revelation of why she stabbed the officer there being infected?
Say that again.
I said, what did you think about the end of finding out that Ellie's infected?
Oh, yeah. So I figured like when she was chained to that radiator that she was infected or something, because the way like they would question her, like seeing if she was still of sound mind and body. So I figured she probably was had a potential infection, just didn't I guess didn't succumb to it. Like a carrier essentially.
I think it's funny because I was, of course, I've watched a lot of like behind the scenes of this show, and they said Bella Ramsey that plays Ellie can switch on even off the camera, like her cursing just on and off. Because Ellie in the game, I mean, she acted just like Ellie in the game. Like I said, she did a great job of that. Ellie drops the F-bomb every chance she gets. I'm excited to see what she's gonna do with that character.
So foul language is the cure for fungus.
That's it. You just got to drop a lot of F-bombs.
You just got to say the fuck word.
If a zombie is running at you, just scream the F word at it, and it will turn around and run the other way.
Oh, it hurts my ears, this bad language.
Let's see. Michael Myers says that Dale could survive easily. Dale couldn't survive very slow shuffling normal zombies.
When you saw Sarah walk through the neighbor's house and you saw the husband, I guess, laid up against the door, were you expecting to see? I expected this. I saw the wheelchair empty. I figured Grandma had got it. I was kind of expecting to see her like, how in the game when they're standing, they're like waiting for a movement to hear something, and they're just kind of standing, like kind of shaking a little bit, and just standing in one place.
You were expecting that.
I was hoping to see that and see her get startled and just turn and just hightail it at ballistic. Sarah.
That actually, I'll give you credit. That actually would have been better than what they did, because we have had, and again, 10 out of 10 for this episode, but we've had that 1,000 times in zombie movies and shows where someone comes around the corner and there's a zombie on the ground eating somebody. Like, we've seen that. That would have actually been a whole lot better, just to instantly show you that these zombies aren't like anything you've seen before. So no, I didn't expect that, but now that you mention it, that would have been a much better touch, because in the game they do that. You'll come around the corner, it'll be like 3 of them just kind of like standing in one area or maybe slowly shuffling back and forth, but they usually are pretty docile.
The runners usually stand still. The clickers like to walk in a area.
I hope they do in the show like the game too, because what I always thought made the game zombies even more freaky was instead of sounding like regular zombies, they actually sound like people. Like, it almost could be confused with a woman crying or sobbing or something, but she's an infected.
Yeah.
So I hope they do that. Lance Hornsby says, Justin, haven't seen the episode. How was the cinematography and the atmosphere and the way everything looked? Very similar to the game. Very, very similar atmosphere, cinematography, everything.
I was very impressed with Boston.
Yeah.
Boston on the show looked shot for shot like Boston in the game. All the graffiti, they were just run down. Of course, that might just be Boston. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But...
go ahead.
No, I enjoyed seeing like the military presence, the checkpoints and stuff there. There was a lot of fencing, searchlights, just a lot of the game aspect of to put you in that environment of the QZ, the Boston QZ, was just pretty spot on.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I thought they did a fantastic job. Jay Shire says, don't know about you. I want to see more Tommy. I do like Tommy. And in the game, I like Tommy. So, I mean, I think show Tommy sounds way more like game Tommy than Joel sounds to game Joel. You know what I mean? I think Tommy sounds more like his video game counterpart. You know, there's kind of that raspy Southern sound. Let's see. All right, we got time for a question or two before we wrap it up. Sanburbia. Oh my God, is this Sanburbia Pictures? If it is, man, this is going back to like the beginning of our podcast, 2014, 2015, man. Like this guy has been off and on with the channel forever. My weapon, if I had more time, I'd go get it. Would be, I've got some big knives that would probably do the trick. Probably out the gate, my Kershaw Camp 10 or either my Ontario RTAC 2, just because they're not crazy long, but they are some tough blades. Seth, what's your apocalypse weapon? No guns.
I've got a sweet hatchet that is a kitchen utensil. It's a hatchet and a spatula, so I can
a hatchula.
I can slice them and I can serve them.
Yeah.
we can kill them and then we can eat them if
pretty big.
We can do that.
I would say this thing's about 14 inches too.
Yeah, it is.
It's awesome.
I would want some sort of bludgeoning tool. I just always liked the idea of bludgeoning somebody.
Matt, do you need to talk to someone? There's something
Probably.
we need to talk about.
This past month, I felt like a strong desire to bludgeon.
Well, it's like that. Is it Funny or Die? I think it's College Humor. I can't. Oh no, it might have been Dorkly, but one of them did that bit on the Ninja Turtles where it's like they finally start using their weapons the way they were intended, and it's like they stab Bebop,
stab and bludgeon, and
then he's like,
yeah.
Mikey, Donnie, what do you guys think? And they're over there beating the crap out of them. They're like, yeah, I mean, it takes a little bit longer for us, but it still gets the job done. I wish I had that clip. Jay Sharf, I'm probably saying that wrong, says can't wait for the next episode. I can't neither. I'll have to check it and see how long it's going to be, though, so I can schedule the time accordingly. Because I thought for sure we'd be able to be on by, the same time. Michael Myers says, do you think the military can have a chance surviving and possibly containing that apocalypse in real life? Yes, but the problem is, I think in this scenario is that everybody, like The Walking Dead, you have to get bit or you have to die to turn into a zombie. Whereas this was like kind of like Resident Evil 2. And Resident Evil 2, it got into the water supply. So the whole city had been drinking the water and then the infection just kicked in. So the whole city got overrun. And this is kind of the same. It came over on like fruit and stuff, at least in the game, like the game lore.
Yeah.
It came over on the fruit from like, I guess the Amazon somewhere in South America where they got it from. And people that drink coffee a lot, I'd be screwed. People that drink coffee a lot, ate fruit. There's a lot of common foods and things that people were eating and drinking. So it's like a lot of you people in the military would have been infected too. So it's not so much that they couldn't contain these zombies. It's that everybody got infected at the same time.
And just trying to corral people.
Yeah.
That's a big threat.
Oh, yeah. And you got to think, too, man. Like, I know soldiers would maintain their posts, but when it starts falling apart like that, I mean, a lot of them got kids they want to protect. And, I don't know. And it's a situation that the military's never dealt with. So I don't want to say what they can and can't deal with. But I know that in that situation, it would be a totally different ball game than what we're used to, which is just foreign wars. Here it's like, okay, you're fighting, and then it's like, oh my God, where are my kids, my wife, my family, my buddy is infected. I mean, I think it would just it's a lot of different components that dismantled the military, which Fedra is about the closest thing you have to some kind of government entity.
Listen, Justin, you will jump on a grenade for your country.
Probably, yeah.
What are you guys looking forward to?
I'm looking the most forward to just watching. Honestly, I'm just looking forward to seeing more of Ellie. I'm interested to see, I think so far she's got the personality down pat. I want to see if that's going to continue throughout the show. I think that because when they cast her, and like I said, I know, I used to be one of those that thought they had to look just like the source material. And I've slowly learned that that's not always the case. They might not look just like them, but they embody the character. And it's like when they cast her, I thought, okay, well, she looks nothing like Ellie. But then again, Ellie is like a video game render, which I know they scan real faces, but half the people they scan aren't actually actors. They just use their face model because like they like it. Like a lot of them are models. Like in Resident Evil 2, Leon and Claire and Ada, they're all scans of real people's faces, but like the people they scan are models. They're not actors, so they can't play themselves. But when she came out and started talking, I was very impressed. So I'm really excited to see more of Ellie and like Ellie and Joel to see how they're going to interact. It's even the scene we're talking about how accurate they are. Even the scene, it was almost word for word when he lays down on the couch and like when in the game, he wakes up and she's like, you mumble in your sleep, you know, and it's so many little things like that. I appreciated that they lifted right out the game. So what about you, Seth? What are you looking forward to?
All right, I'm going somewhere with this, but have you guys seen Halo?
Not the
TV show?
Okay. In a scene of Halo, they showed what you see when you play Halo the game. Like you got the health bar, you got your ammunition and whatnot. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they handle the listening mode.
Oh yeah. So
If
Matt and anyone that hadn't
that.
played the game, in the game you can squat down and hold R1 and they listen, which will, as the player, allow you to kind of in a way see through it. Just lets you locate where your enemies are so you have an idea of where they're at, or if you go into a building and you don't want to rush in, you can listen to see if you hear any infected. So that is cool. Yeah, I'd be interested to see if they do that. I hope they don't just abandon it completely.
Yeah.
Because the hard thing about writing this show, though, I'm sure, is that the game is, when you're playing the game, it's very action-packed. You know, the cutscenes are very gritty and very character-based, but like when you play, it's very action-driven. So it's like, I know that the show is not going to probably be anywhere like the game on the action, but I do hope if they keep the grittiness, I'll be okay. Matt, what are you looking forward to as a fresh-faced Last of Us virgin? Well, you're not. You just had your Last of Us cherry popped, but you know, still.
I did. I don't know. I just it's gonna be interesting to see where they go with all this stuff. See with Ellie being not infected, and just Joel and Fuzzy Nuts with their shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Jay Schaff asks, so if someone gets killed in The Last of Us, do they turn, or is that just The Walking Dead? That's just The Walking Dead. If they are
they need
perfectly
a living host
normal and
if you're
die,
a parasite.
they're dead. And you're going to have plenty of characters you like just get killed. just die. That's just the way it works in this universe. But
I thought they got infected too.
What, in The Last of Us?
Yeah.
No. Not unless they were already infected, or unless they're around some spores, then their body would turn. But no,
because I thought that's why Ellie's bite mark was so intimidating in the game.
No, he's talking about like if you just kill someone, like if I just shot you.
Oh, okay.
Like if I just walked up and shot you in the chest and you bled out, like he's asking, would you come back? And it's like, no, not unless you were infected. Which even if you were infected, you'd still die because infected die like regular.
I misunderstood the question.
That's Walking Dead specific. Michael Myers says, I'm still surprised the military lost to the Walking Dead zombies. Me too. I think we all are. Yeah, I wonder how they'll implement that. And do animals turn, or is it just humans? Just humans. Which is interesting, though, because if it infects humans, it should technically be able to infect other mammals, you would think. But
well, I mean, that's like with other infections, too. Like some animals get infections that don't spread to humans and vice versa.
I mean, yeah, to an extent.
Some can jump, but
you know,
yeah,
it's like
some can jump, but not all.
But yeah, I kind of thought that, you know, when I first played the first game, I wondered if they were going to be like dog zombies, but no dog zombies, but plenty of dog deaths. Lots of doggies in the game go bye-bye. So if you're an animal lover, that game might not be for you. But let's see. There was a concept with zoo animals as zombies in the game. Ooh, that would have been cool. Like a zombie infected gorilla.
I was gonna say a gorilla zombie would be badass.
That would be freaking terrifying.
Resident Evil did that. Resident Evil Outbreak File 2, I think. You go through a zoo and there's like infected lions, and the infected elephant was a pain in the butt to put down. But But yeah. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this podcast because we're all exhausted. I think Seth's got the energy to go all night.
Yeah, I'm ready to keep rolling.
But Matt and I, we're
tired.
I had a nice nap today.
I started to take a nap earlier and I didn't. But so when we leave it here, let's leave it. I'm giving it, already set it a 10 out of 10. Seth and Matt, what are you going to rate the first episode on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd say 9 to 10.
I go 8.
Okay. I knew Seth was. I'm shocked actually. I thought Seth was going to give it like a 6.5 or 7.
No, he meant 8 out of 100.
Yeah, no kidding. I think this. We'll wait and see. But yeah, so 10, 8. Matt said
I was hooked.
10-ish.
I was hooked. I know Ashley's gonna watch it tomorrow night when she don't like, when she has a chance to.
Let me know how she likes it.
She got halfway through it, but Pope out of 10. Now that is the highest accolade I've ever seen for any show.
I would have said I would take that as a very low accolade, but anyways, that's gonna wrap it up. We'll see you next Sunday for episode 2. I'm Justin.
I'm Seth.
Matadubs.
And if you're just tuning in and we're leaving, you can go back and rewatch the live stream.
Just
hopefully you'll join
us
next week. Bye-bye.
I'm also going live tomorrow morning, so
yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. You're off tomorrow. Seth does coffee
must
and
be
gaming
nice
whenever he's off of work. So join his channel, The Men's Room.
7 a.m. link in the description.
What game are you playing?
The Division 2.
The Last of Us 2.
It should be The Last of Us.
I haven't scored the copy yet from Chad. I'm working on it.
Well, just even the first one. You got the first one.
I've already played it. It's already on my channel.
Yeah, but you should do it again in honor of the show.
I don't want to play it again. I played it like 10 times. Goodbye.